Quantum House Industry Analysis, Medical and Scientific Equipment Wholesaling in Australia. Definition: wholesalers distribute scientific, medical, and professional equipment, handling sales, marketing, storage, and transportation. They forge partnerships with manufacturers and retailers to maintain consistent supply and demand for their inventory. Performance highlights: fluctuating Australian dollar affects import costs. A stronger Australian dollar reduces import costs for medical and scientific equipment. Wholesalers keep prices competitive and seek cheaper international suppliers, mainly in China and Thailand, to maintain profit margins. Aging population and COVID-19 boost equipment demand. Health spending increases due to an aging population and COVID-19 driving demand for medical equipment. Government funding for health is essential for wholesalers as hospitals invest in new equipment. Government spending and trade with China fuel equipment demand. COVID-19 research funding and rising commodity prices boost demand for scientific and mining equipment. Renewed trade with China further benefits wholesalers. Wholesale bypass trends impact growth. To cut costs, many buyers bypass wholesalers and buy directly from manufacturers, a trend accelerated by pandemic pressures. Wholesalers are enhancing services like logistics and inventory management, creating new job opportunities to offset direct sales losses. Industry outlook: an appreciating Australian dollar and aging population will lift revenue and profit. A stronger Australian dollar will lower import costs, increasing profit margins. An aging population will boost demand for specialized medical equipment, driving industry growth and revenue. Greater investment in research and development will support growth. Post-COVID health focus will increase R&D investment, raising demand for scientific equipment. Expanding research institutions will need advanced equipment, supporting wholesaler growth. The increasing threat of wholesale bypass will stifle demand. Consumers bypassing wholesalers for manufacturers will intensify competition. Wholesalers will offer low prices and enhance services to maintain market share. Limited enterprise growth will constrain employment, but rising equipment demand will mitigate some effects. Wholesalers are reinventing their services amid rising medical and scientific equipment demands. Wholesalers will innovate logistics and data systems through tech partnerships. Investments in AI and machine learning will improve operations. Training in new medical technologies and expanding online platforms will enhance customer service and market reach. Industry revenue fluctuations in the Australian dollar have impacted import costs. Prices of imported medical, surgical, and scientific equipment affect purchase costs for wholesalers, who source many products from international manufacturers. Products and services. High rates of hospital admission boost demand for surgical and medical appliances and apparatus. The demand for devices like ventilators, ultrasound machines, and diagnostic products surged during the COVID-19 pandemic and remains high. Advances in medical technology have raised the prices of new appliances, increasing their share of industry revenue. Surgical and medical instruments and supplies face declining revenue, despite an aging population. First aid equipment, needles, and bandages see declining demand as preventive care and less invasive surgeries rise. Although an aging population needs more health care, this hasn't sustained demand for traditional instruments, reducing their revenue contribution. Measuring equipment's contribution to revenue has fallen slightly despite medical technology advancing. Hand tools and sample analysis equipment, despite being essential research, have seen a minor decline in revenue contribution due to a slowdown in new acquisitions. Dental equipment and supplies have provided consistent revenue through Medicare constraints and the pandemic recovery. Dental equipment demand remains stable despite Medicare coverage limitations and pandemic disruptions. Adaptation by dental practitioners has maintained consistent industry revenue from this segment. Intense import competition for laboratory instruments is lowering their contribution to industry revenue. Increased imports of laboratory instruments from low-cost markets like China have reduced this segment's revenue share, especially during the pandemic when cost-cutting measures intensified. Process control instruments have suffered from supply chain disruptions. Process control instruments used in manufacturing have seen revenue decline due to supply chain issues, despite rising manufacturing demand. Key external drivers include total health expenditure, trade-weighted index, demand from scientific research services, demand from mining, demand from manufacturing, population aged 70 and older. Key success factors. 1. Overcoming volatility, negotiating advantageous contracts, managing inventory effectively, and cultivating customer loyalty. 2. Offering products and services, providing flexible payment options for clients and delivering high-quality goods and services. 3. Using location to their advantage, building an expansive distribution network. 4. Handling concentration, implementing a strategy focused on high volume and low margins and establishing strong brand recognition. 5. Overcoming barriers to entry, building expertise in technical product knowledge and adhering to regulatory requirements. 6. Managing buyer and supplier power, providing flexible payment options to clients. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions regarding this presentation, please contact us.